Hi, so this is a video that I decided to make because I was quite surprised that with 2 days practice on ERA and similar cylinder locks, I could actually break into this ABUS that we use at work, or did use at work, to secure the premises as a secondary measure in very little time. But you can see I just managed to rake it with a snowman rake from a GoSo kit, and I'm about to do a single point picking with the sort of flattened half diamond that's also in that kit. I think the raking took about 5 seconds. The bitch picking I'm about to do takes a little longer, but you know. So as a result of this, I decided to replace the lock naturally. I also bought a duplicate because I just couldn't believe how easy it was to get into this particular lock. So I'm probably going to try and repin the other one, and in the meantime I'm gutting this one. I did gut this one partially to see what was in it, and the next clip of video is going to show me entirely gutting it. The reassembly took a lot longer than I hoped, so I haven't shown that. I'll probably do another video when I repin it. Okay, so that's pretty much the shocking time taken. So I've got my easily pickable, or easily rakeable, easily everythingable ABUS 5-pin 83CS55, and the plan is to fully gut it this time and to take out not only the pins in the slug but the pins in the Bible and see what they're like. And then I've got a long-term view of repinning it to make it compatible with the replacement ABUS lock that I bought. So we've got two locks that will run off similar keys that we can use around the place, also used for practice. So here we go. Yeah, should always prepare the materials. So in amongst this huge rack of keys, I've got the right set. Here we go. Sorry, I've got my normal keychain stuck on the key. And here we go. So use the screwdriver to remove the Phillips screw that holds it together. This all drops out. Then I'm going to have a go at removing the key retaining hook. So after seeing Bosnian Bill's gutting of one of these, I'm paranoid of dropping this retaining pin into the Bible. So bear with me. I think that should be the least painful method. Okay, so I need to stick this in my clamp device rather, and see if I can get the clip off it. Yeah, not very well framed, sorry. I'm going to use this, I hope to use a similar method of getting this clip off as I used to get the clip off the ERA that I did in a previous video, and hopefully, yeah, that comes off quite nicely. So Let's just make sure we don't lose any of this. Sorry, this is the left thumb coming in. Okay, so what I haven't got on my follower is a groove. I've got a straight follower. I'm going to try it anyway and hope for the best. Okay, we've got something coming out the side, more things coming out the side. Yep, that was a bad best. And I guess I should have removed this at some stage, and that might have made it easier. Okay, let's see what else comes out of there. Now we've got all sorts of stuff. Well, here's the... That was really not too good, was it? Here we've got the 5 pins that I knew were in there, and you can see that there are 2 anti-drill pins. There's something in there, I don't know what that is. Okay, I'm just going to pause while I find the missing pins. So, hopefully a pin will have sprung into view there after the pause. So we've got I'm going to work from the back of the barrel. No, the front. Okay, I'm pretty sure that the front 2 of these spool pins, and then we had this what is that? Serrated pin next. Pretty sure, well, the one that jumped out, which I think jumped out before the serrated, is this spool pin. Let's just push those up there. Let's see what's left in here. We should have 1 pin, yeah, and it's another spool. So we have, of the 5 pins, I don't know if reflection, I can't tell if that's focused or not. Okay, we've got a spool in the first 2 and the back 2 pin holes, and we've got what looks to me like a serrated, but I'm no expert, in the middle. So if we get it in the same order, that's going to be complicated, isn't it? Okay, so we got the, I think that's called a T-pin, as I think this is. Another T-pin, and I've already done this part of it before. I haven't dismantled the top part before, obviously. So we have a spool pin in the 5th pinhole. In the 4th we got what I take to be a T-piece. You can see it's got a reduced diameter over about 1 millimeter. This one's got a reduced diameter at the top over about 0.5 millimeter. Let's see if we can zoom in and then remember to zoom back out again. Sorry. Then we have another of the, I'm calling T-pins, which have got the reduced diameter at the top in position 2. And at the front we have this one. You can see that all of the pins are pretty close in dimensions. There's not very much of a difference. The longest one, unfortunately, is at the, well, one of the 2 longest, I think the longest one, is at the back. You'd guess that if that was somewhere in the middle, protecting a shorter pin, that the whole thing would be harder to get into. There you go. So, full of secure pins, security pins, and yet rakeable by me within the first minute of trying. I got it down so I can rake it in 4 to 5 seconds, which, yeah, is quite astounding, but I guess it is all part of practice. But I did try this on a colleague who has never tried to pick a lock until the day I gave him 3 goes on the master lock. He was successful. Sorry, this master lock. I'll zoom back out. He was successful immediately with this. You know, within a few seconds he did this, and then he opened it 3 times very quickly. And with the minimal tuition, about 5 verbal lines of commands on how to do it, he managed to do that. And I gave him the abus and wandered off to have a coffee, and by the time I'd made my coffee and sat down, he managed to rake the abus, which is full of security pins. He then did it, I think it took him about 1.5 minutes the first time, but again he had it down to about 30 seconds on this 3rd or 4th attempt. So, what I'm planning on doing, as I've said, is either to pin it to match this one, which seems to be a lot better, or at the very least making a 6th pin. I think I'm going to start by making a 6th pin, which means of course getting a longer blank, having it possibly cut to match the first 5 positions of the key. That came with this, and then hand filing a very slight gap on the back of the key, and then making the pin to sit behind this tall guy, which would be a nice short pin, possibly with some little nice features on. That will be protected by this from sort of idiot savants or lucky attacks. One other thing on this keyway, it's both of these ones that I got had the same keyway. It's I think it's a Yale #1 or some such. Abus call it, I think, the 1000, and say that it is the same as the Yale #1. I think there's a brochure that has full details. It's not really, I don't know why this is the default one that everyone seems to supply in the 2 that I've bought in the UK come with this keyway, and there are lots of interesting keyways available, including Abus's own, which is massively paracentric. Well, hopefully there'll be a follow-up where I make a pin. Who knows? Thanks.